G'day folks, well as you may have noticed from our previous post, we've been completely washed out with our weekend, so we need to go to plan B. We all have those jobs where we've always talked about wanting to do something. They usually take 2 months, 2 years, in our case probably 20 years. So Crazy Parko here is going to help me out. We're going to do some work on this trailer. So we've got some issues with DEATHPROOF. We can't drive real fast at the moment. We just don't have enough positive weight on a tow ball. So let's check out what we're going to do, shall we? So just to give everyone an idea of what we're talking about, the tyres of DEATHPROOF stop here. Now the problem with DEATHPROOF is that the engine sits really far back, being on a hot rod like that, so I don't get much positive weight on a tow ball and I can't drive real fast. I end up getting the death wobbles, which if any of you have towed a trailer, you know exactly how bad that can be. So I want to get the tyre of DEATHPROOF sitting here instead. So I'm going to build a little platform that comes out, and that's going to support the front tyres of DEATHPROOF. And whilst we're at it, we're going to actually use this platform as it comes out, and we're going to probably build some bracketry further back, and we're going to make a tyre rack to mount all of my spare tyres for rallying. This will clear the bonnet of DEATHPROOF, and it will also give us some extra positive weight on the tow ball as well. And the added benefit too is that whenever I've towed some of these other vehicles that traditionally have a motor that sit really far on the front, I can't tow them front facing because I don't have enough positive weight again. So on those cars I'll be able to move them a little bit further forward again, so I'm not stuck with having to reverse load these cars as well. So I think, why don't we get stuck into it, Parko?
Sounds like a plan.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah. First things first, we're getting this pass out of the way. So we can pull these. Put your finger on them, push it out, she'll be right. Beautiful. Piece of piss. Gold.
Quality,
She'll be right.
there.
She'll be right.
Get that pus out of here.
Fucking piece of shit. Rightio.
So with Parko getting that crap out of the way, we probably want to put some angle iron around so. We're going to create another box section basically coming across here, and we're going to stick it out a little bit further so we can do our mounting bracket for the tyre rack. So we've calculated we want 39.5 centimetres. We'll quickly line that up now and we'll get him cut. Righto, so with that, I think we'll roughly mark this shit out. We'll get our lines done. I think we'll clean up this and we'll actually weld it in place, but we'll end up having some other pieces that sit on roughly like so, but this is just our guide. Yeah, piece of piss, I reckon. So we've already done our markings off camera. So these will basically sit along there. We've done it on both sides, but to give you an idea, that's how the tyre will sit in place. But in order to work out where we're going to start these pieces, we need to do a right angle drawing across from that edge. And it's just a matter of holding it hard up against there. So we know that's where it's going to start. So we're doing a lot of that welding is going to start from there, and we're going to have to do some bracing as it comes out from here as well. So a bit of a pain in the backside, but whatever.
Marking our welding guidelines. That's it. Clean it up with the flappy now. Nice clean steel, easy to work with, good to weld. Yeah, that's fucked. Notice the proper grinding is. That's rubbish.
You can see what Parko's doing there. We're just finishing up. We're using a piece of angle iron as a straight edge, and we've got them all clamped in place. We're just going to measure across. We need 2 meters total, and as long as we've got that 2 meters, we'll weld them up, and then we'll continue with the rest as they go across. Looking good.
That's plumb.
Righto, let's measure it up. We're just a little bit over the 2 meter mark, so we probably need to move both sides in just a touch. About 5 mil a piece, but we're looking pretty good. Alright, let's get that sorted. Alright, we'll get the other side welded, then I'll weld through underneath and weld through the back side after we remove our straight edge. Alright, so I'll weld across underneath and this little part here, but it's already, you know, sitting in where it's got to be. It's looking decent. Righto, we've got our side pieces cut, so that's pretty much going to sit in place like so. We'll obviously line that up a bit better, but we'll weld them in place, and then we're going to put some steel that runs across underneath here as an extra support, and we're also going to run some angle iron that goes across here too, but we're at least starting to get some of the shape that we want now, so happy days.
We've got our side pieces on, let's get him fully welded.
So now that our side pieces are both welded in place on each side, we're going to have to put our little bit of bracing in here. We can see we've lined up roughly what we want to do. We're going to make a cut here so we can weld it all the way along on the frame, on the drawbar, and we're going to weld it underneath here. So we'll cut that in half. This is exactly the right length by pure chance, gotta love that. Yeah, we're knocking it on its head pretty well, I reckon. Righto, I reckon she's structural enough to hold the weight of the car. That'll fucking do it. Why don't we fix this plus here while we're at it, so it looks a little bit better. And I think we can work on the tyre rack after that. Righto, we'll call that halfway done. Parko and I are going to have a quick VB, as we do, and we'll carry on with the tyre rack, shall we? Be right back.
Hurry up, cunt.
Righto, after our little break, we're going to keep going with this A-frame. This is actually something that I scored off a tip cleanup, and it's actually got a lot of the framework that we're going to use for what we're doing anyhow. So we're going to cut off these excess pieces and take it from there. good.
Full stop,
Let me just get that base out.
I'll do it, so I reckon. Nice one. Too easy.
So with those in place, the tyres will be able to go on like so. We can keep it standing upright. And we're going to put a little bracket in here, but it basically means that we'll be able to slide this through to the middle of the A-frame, and we'll have a bracket here that locks it in place. So that will do. I'm happy with that. I think we'll probably call it a day. It's getting a bit dark, but we'll keep going tomorrow.
Should we be alright?
She'll be right. Righto, day 2. Crazy Parko's nowhere to be seen, but at least I know the beers are safe. Let's keep going, shall we? So moving forward, I want the base of this A-frame to be standing upright. So I'm going to do a little pie cut here. I'm going to cut the base here and actually stand it upright and do a spot weld onto the bottom on each side. Now I know it sounds counterproductive, but the end result's going to be that I'm going to line everything up whilst it's on this jig, and then I'll transfer it onto the trailer. So now moving forward, I've got to remove these 2 brackets on each side. Then I need to weld this on the end of one of them. And at the ends of the triangle pieces, we're going to weld these plates on. So let's get that done, and then I can give you a demonstration on how this tyre rack's going to work. So with that done, I'll give you a little demo on how this is going to work now. And at my end piece, I'll be able to use a padlock or some sort of locking device, and I can adjust that height as well, depending on the size of rims that I've got. Before I transfer the rack over onto the trailer, I need to weld in the mounting brackets on each side as well for the rear ones. weight, easy to load onto the trailer now. With a clamp to hold it in place on the front to keep it taut, we're going to be able to drill through a nut and bolt combination, and it will be as easy as that. Time to clean up some of these welds and sharp edges. The last bit of fabrication is now to do some new tie down chains, and that's pretty much it, and we can put it under some primer. For clean up time, we can lay down some primer and a cheap coat of paint. Yeah, I don't have any yellow spray can, so it'll just have to be gold. Such is life. Probably needs a respray anyway. And a bit of black will finish him off. Rough enough is good enough. We are Shelby Wright Garage for a reason. Beautiful. And there we are, folks. We had just a few millimeters clearance from the bonnet mascot to these tyres on the tyre rack. I'm really happy with that. Can't ask for anything better. It's one of these jobs that we've been putting off for ages. We finally got it done, courtesy of the rains. Unfortunately, that came at the cost of our dirty weekend away with Sleazy and DEATHPROOF. It has been postponed. We'll get back to you when we're going to do that weekend. Not sure when it's going to be, but look, in the meantime, I do have a couple videos coming up that should be of some interest. I've got a TA22 Celica, which belongs to a mate of mine. He's asked me to help him sell it, and we've got to do some rust repairs first. And I've also got a Will It Start video coming up. I've got a gold P5 LTD. I've got the lovely PK assisting me with that. It's a 351 motor. Hasn't been started for about 15 years. We're planning to drive it around the block. So look, do join us. And like always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Cheers, guys. Right up. Parker, crazy Parker.
Shut up, big head. Just give me my beer. Fuck to the game.
Fuck, it helps if I put the earth on.
Gronk.
Shut up here.
Have you disconnected the battery, Rookie 101?
Yes, the battery is disconnected. Shut the fuck up.
That's hilarious. Remember when your band blew up about as well? Yeah. That was gold.
Mate, we're harking back to the 50s and 60s here.
Shit, whatever. Get it done. She'll be right.
It'll be fucking right.
Don't make yourself look like an asshole.
What, like you?
Standard, mate. Mate, I deny nothing. Old Faithful's a piece of shit.
Alright, so.
You're a fucking dick.
Fuck off.
That sounded so fucking going.
Oh, fuck that there. No one told you to fuck off yet?
No.
Fuck off.
Well, you have today, but I don't give a fuck.
That'll do
This is
anyway.
the best.
Oh,
That's the best. That's got to go on the bloopers reel. You
Fuck,
fucking
that hurt.
retard.
Oh.
Are you, what is wrong? That's gold. Shit, man.
you stop laughing while I weld.
I can't. That was retarded. She is warm. There you go. Yeah, see? Carmen's going, oh, no.
Yeah,
now
Carmen's
who's
getting
allowed
you.
to laugh?
Carmen's getting you. Motherfucker.
Mate, that's pretty funny as well. Hey, Drew. She'll be fucking right, son.